Hello and welcome back to the Airtime Rush YouTube channel, where today we are carrying on with our Planet Coaster 2 series, Adventure Isles. Now we're on episode 8, we're getting through them now guys, and this one, I know a lot of you have been excited for this one. We are building this incredible water coaster. It's basically inspired by Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld. I've been on that, I love it, I think it's a great ride. I do like water coasters, but I think they need to be indoor. They need to have like indoor sections, because I think on their own they just look a bit ugly. So with a building around it, I thought that was the way to go, because I knew I wanted to put one of these into the park, but I just thought it needed a building, because I had a little play around with a few layouts and stuff, and they just don't look great without a building. So I was happy to build a bit of a dark ride section. I thought it'll add to the park. I know we've already got the indoor log flume, and if you've watched that, you kind of know my building style for indoor rides. And we are going to be building an indoor tracked ride as well, so there's going to be plenty of indoor rides in this park. But this is one that I really wanted to build. It's in the Greek area, so this is a brand new area. It's right next to the last area we built, which was the China area. So you basically, I'll go through a bit of a plan of what we've already done. So we've done the entrance area. To the right of that, we've got the Viking area, which is themed to Norway. And then we've got the China area, and now we've got this right at the back of the park. And then to the left of this, we're going to have like a cowboy themed area. So think like America, like Western America. And then we're going to have a Switzerland area. And then we're going to have like a medieval German area as well, and then that'll be back to the start. But this area, Greek, we've obviously got Greek theming in the game, so this is pretty easy to theme, because all the pieces are already there for us to use. It's all about, with dark rides, I always recommend building the layout first, however you want the layout, and then you put the floor down, and then you start building your individual rooms. So I knew this bit here, I wanted it to be the main indoor area. So you go out the station into this little turnaround area where there's going to be some dark ride scenes, and then you go up the first lift hill into a turnaround section which is outside, up another lift hill, and then into another dark ride section just before the first main drop. So that is kind of how it is. Then after the first drop, you turn around, you go up another little bit into another little dark ride section, and then into the final splash, which is kind of behind the building itself. So you can't actually see from off ride, you won't be able to see that final splashdown area. It's kind of hidden out of the way. So here we're just putting in this tunnel area for the first lift hill. So you could just build a building over it, but then it'll just be too spacious. So I like putting in a roof so it feels a bit more enclosed, and it makes it feel a bit darker as well. Obviously, I've not done any theming in this. It's just basically the walls, the roof, the floor, and then eventually I'll go in, I'll put a few like decorations on the walls, some columns, maybe some lighting as well, some like torches and stuff. And then here we're building the main building over this drop area. So I've built this area. It's quite a narrow building, this one, but this is the tallest part of the ride. So I'm building this, making sure it fits to the track, and then again I'll go in and I'll put some dark walls in there to make it darker, and there'll also be some sort of show scene in there as well, which again I don't do until I've finished the actual main building itself. So you basically want to get the whole shell of the building in first, and then go back and theme it up. I also want to apologise guys for my voice. I'm not very well at the moment. Got a sore throat, full of cold, but I really wanted to get this episode out for you, because I know if you follow me on social media, and also I'm in a few Facebook groups as well for Planet Coaster, you'll see that I've shared a few screenshots of this build that I've been doing. And this build, I actually did this probably weeks ago now, but obviously I've had other episodes to edit. This is the hard part now, doing the voiceover, because obviously I need to edit it all, do the voiceover, and obviously I don't want to put too many episodes out in 1 week. I tend to do one episode a week for you guys, but finally we're up to this area now. We're up to this part of the series now where things are getting more and more detailed. I'm really looking forward to this Greek area because, like I said, we have Greek scenery pieces and stuff like that, so it just makes it so much easier to theme. Like the China area, as much as I really enjoyed it, it was so difficult to do, and I was very limited to what I could do theming wise. It was mainly the buildings that I could theme because I came up with that building style that I could use throughout the full area. But with this, we've got the pieces. We can put some really good detail into this area, and I'm really looking forward to it. So in this area, I'll talk about what my plans are for this area. So we've obviously got this dark ride, water coaster, and there's going to be a stand-up surf coaster. I think they're called the B&M surf coaster. That's going to be the main roller coaster of the area. And there's going to be a family Intamin multi-launch, multi-dimension coaster as well. A bit like Pegasus and 13, that kind of style of ride. And then there's going to be a magic carpet, disco kind of flat ride. There's going to be one of them splash towers. I don't know what they're called in real life. I don't think there's that many of them out there. And then there's going to be a dark ride as well, so a track dark ride, which I'm really looking forward to doing as well. So the track dark ride that I am going to be doing, I was a bit annoyed because I wanted it to be one of them, I can't remember what model it was, but it's where there's carriages all the way around the actual layout. But that was only a pre-order bonus, and I didn't pre-order the game, so unfortunately I don't have that in the game. So I'm probably going to do a trackless dark ride, either that or the haunted house kind of two-seater one. I'm not too sure, I need to figure it out. But going back to the build that we're doing here, yeah, the colour that we're going for here does completely change. I don't know why I was going for this. I think it's actually because I was actually copying from a picture of Journey to Atlantis, and that is this like colour scheme, but obviously we're going for a Greek version. So we do end up re-theming this. It's all like white and stuff like that. Skipping forward a little bit, I'm putting in the pathways. I like to do this just to know whereabouts I'm up to with where I can build up to basically. Because obviously the splashdown area here, I want it to be a bit like a lagoon. So if I get the pathway in first, I can then build the water area and then put like a wall in. You'll see me build that in a second. You can see here that I'm starting to dig down for the water, which is going to be the main lagoon of the area. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to have a few like water effects go off in this area as well, which will look really nice when it's all done. I've not actually showed you me building the inside because, to be fair, I actually used a lot of the pre-built scenery pieces and just kind of dotted them around inside. It's nothing major really, because technically it's not really a dark ride. It's just got that one main dark ride section at the beginning and then the one just before both drops, which is just a bit of a showpiece really. It's nothing major. But going back, we're going to start building the actual station building. Again, normally I'd actually do this first, but on this I didn't do it first for some reason. But now I'm going back, just putting the walls in and getting this area ready. This area here that I'm doing, this is going to be the exit area, where there's going to be like a shop where you can get your on-ride photos and like your merchandise and stuff like that for the ride, like your mugs and your t-shirts and stuff like that. Again, I've not actually kitted this bit out yet, so this will come soon. But like I said before, guys, it's all about getting the main shell of the building in place. The rooms, so obviously your station building, your exit building, your show building, just build it like that first. And then you go back and you add your detail. Here you can see I am putting a little bit of detail in first. I've just thought I'll put a few of these columns in, which again, it works really well. And to be honest, I actually don't put that much detail into this. It's basically these columns, and then I put in some like drapes and stuff which look really nice, and a few other little bits and bobs just to finish it off. It doesn't have to be too much really. I think the more you overdo it, the more unrealistic it is. Because rides, yes, they have some really nice detailing, but it's not over the top as well. And now we're building the second part of the actual building itself. So this is the second lift hill. Well, technically it's the third lift hill, because the first one's split into two. You got the beginning bit, a turnaround section, and then another bit. So this is basically technically the third, but the main second one, if that makes sense. So same thing we did with the other one. Enclose it and then start to put like a roof and a floor in as well. So with this, I'm just using some roof pieces because they are more or less the same slant as the angle that I've got the lift hill, so it works out really well. And then it's building the walls up, and that's it really. That's all there is to it really. And then it's starting to make sure, because this building is a separate building to the other building, I had to make sure they kind of connect as well. So it's all about putting the pieces of wall together to make sure it all connects. And then you go in with your columns and your scenery pieces just to theme it all up and make it look like one big building. And then here, this is the final showpiece, like indoor bit for the second drop, which there's not much to it really. I don't know if I do it on camera, but basically it's just black walls, and then there's like a Medusa style like head on the wall. You see that, and then you drop into the beginning, the end bit. Here I'm just putting some rocks down just to get an idea of the finished look. Just to finish off this lagoon area. You can see I've started putting a little bit of a wall in there. But now this is one of the flat rides that I was saying about putting in the area. It's some sort of drop tower type thing. These are fairly new. I don't know who makes them. Not too sure who makes them in real life, but they have been like advertised around. And I think a few parks might have purchased them. I don't know if they're actually been built yet. But yeah, there is talks of a few parks getting these. It's basically a drop tower with a big weight at the bottom, and the weight splashes into a pit of water, and it creates like a big wave of water basically. So it's a water ride / drop tower kind of thing, and they look really cool. It's a really cool idea, and I just thought I wanted to put one of these in the park, and I thought this Greek area would be perfect for this ride. Now you can see the queue line I put behind the ride. That's going to be all enclosed, so we're going to enclose it now. Just a basic building. Again, I've not gone back and like themed the inside of this. It's all about getting the building in place, the walls in place. Just give me a rough idea of what it looks like in the area, and then eventually we'll go back and we'll put some detail into the inside of it. Again, it needs lighting, probably some custom fencing as well. But again, there's nothing to this building. It's basically just an area for the queue line, and then on top, I've done something quite different that I've never actually done. It's like a false perspective. So from the guest point of view, the building looks really big, but actually it's just a single floor warehouse kind of thing, basically, that the queue's in. You can see here, I'm just putting some slanted roofs in here just to help with the water. Obviously, you don't want water sitting on a flat roof. I was making sure it doesn't interrupt with the lift hill there, so I had to move a few pieces. But yeah, that's basically all it is. It's going to be like a warehouse from the back, but from the guest point of view, it's themed nicely. And that you see that a lot, especially Universal do that a lot. Especially the Wizarding World, a lot of that, it's all these massive facades, and then behind it, it's just like scaffolding, keeping it all up and stuff like that. It's really clever how they do it. You don't need to theme the back of things because the guests don't see it. As long as what the guests can see is themed well, behind it they can do cheap corrugated roof, metal roof. It doesn't have to be anything fancy really. But yeah, just theming up the outside of this building. Again, it's not complete. It's something that I will come back on and make sure it looks fantastic. Again, this is just a rough kind of outline, and I just like to get an idea of what the building's going to look like. But I'm really happy with this. It looks really cool. The building looks like a part of the water coaster as well. It connects really nicely with that, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Again, I'm just going to theme. I love, again, how you can theme up the flat rides. So again, I'm just putting some massive columns, some big posts into it, and again, you can scale the posts as big as you like. And look at that, it just looks fantastic. It fits really well into the area. Again, you've still got bits on the side what the actual ride runs up and down on. I don't have to change much of that. But the actual aesthetic of the ride, you can change and you can edit it to fit into any theme, and I absolutely love that. And then here I'm just putting in some nice little planters. I'm going to have some really nice flowers in this. And this acts as a barrier as well, so it's a win-win really for the area. Again, the fence that's running through it, that is the fence for the ride. I will get rid of that. I think I might do that in this episode as well. I can't really remember. But yeah, that'll be gone, and then it'll just be flowers and stuff like that, and it'll look really, really nice. But it is all coming together now. It does take a long time, like slowly but surely, it will start coming together. Like, that for me looks perfect next to this water coaster. I needed something at a bit of an angle as well, just to cover that side of the building, so I didn't have to theme it up as well. And that flat ride, that towered flat ride, it just fits perfectly, so I'm really happy with that. And then behind that flat ride, you can see I put the outline of the dark ride that we're going to be building soon. I've not got around to doing that yet. That's going to be a future episode, so stay tuned for that. But now we're basically just going back and just adding a lot more detail to the ride. It just adds a lot of definition to the ride. Just putting some random bits and bobs around, windows, even some trees and stuff we will put in just to finish the area off. But it's just mad how a few little columns and a few little bits of decoration could just make the ride come alive so much. And the building, like before, it just looked like, again, a blank square building. But as soon as you add 2 windows in like we did there, it just makes it look so much better. We're putting another ride now, guys. This is going to be the magic carpet disco kind of ride. I don't really know what these are called. A lot of people say these are roller coasters, but I technically don't class these as roller coasters. These are flat rides in my opinion. If you want to count them as a roller coaster, fair enough. But on the actual manufacturer website, they do class these as flat rides. So that's what I'm going off with this. But these are really fun flat rides, to be fair. Some of my favourite. Me and my daughter love these. There's one at Drayton Manor, which we really like, called 4. And yeah, they're really fun, and I just thought it fit perfectly in this area. It's quite a family-friendly area, to be fair. There's only the one thrill coaster, and that's going to be the B&M surf coaster. What I'm doing here, which you can see, is I wanted some sort of water feature. So this area is going to be very water-based, basically. So I thought I'll put, so this is some sort of trough that I'm putting in to catch the water. So I thought I used the actual planter trough, so it's basically soil, and then I add these this blue in to make it look like water, and then on the actual wall itself I'm going to put these water features in to make it look like a waterfall. And I thought this was a really cool idea. I think it looks great. And then I will actually hide these little sprouts that you can see. I'll hide them with a bit of concrete and stuff like that so you can actually see them. But I think it looks fantastic. I'm really happy with how it looks. Again, it just adds something to the flat ride. And I like how you got these different layers. So you got the upper part of this where you got the lagoon, and then you got here where you can look down at this flat ride. You got this waterfall, so you can hear the gush of the water, and then obviously the flat ride's there, it'll be running, people on it, and you can stand here and watch people on the ride. And I just think it's a great little area to stand and watch, because behind you you've got the splashdown of the water coaster, and then you got this flat ride as well. So I just loved how this worked out. Here I just selected the actual water to move it back just to make it more towards the wall, which again looks fantastic now that I've done it properly. And then just put these little stone bits on just to add a nice finish on the end. And then again we're going to add some detail onto the ride. I love how you can theme the rides up. I think I put some sort of guy on here. I was going to put like a massive Greek god on there, but I ended up going against that because it was just too big and it'll look a bit stupid. And then it's all about colouring it, customising it, which I absolutely love in this game. We went with a nice subtle blue and white, which fit perfectly, and it just looks so good. I just love how this fits into the area. And we're going to put some rocks around here and just make it fit into the area. But I actually love how this ride turned out. I'm really happy with it. I did the whole queue line, I did that off camera. You'll probably see that. You'll see it a little bit in the overview that I do in a minute, but you'll see that mainly in the next episode, where we're going to be building this B&M surf coaster, which I'm really excited for. I've never built anything like that. I don't think I've ever built like a proper stand-up coaster before, so I'm really excited for that. And with it being a launch one as well, it means I can keep it nice and low to the ground and interact with the area nicely. But yeah, you can see here, just finishing off this flat ride, putting in some walls, the rock work as well, looks really nice. And again, I do put a lot more detailing into this area off camera, just to save on time really. But we're going to have a look at the overview of the area now and take a POV ride on the fantastic water coaster that we built. So here we go, overview of the area. The ride is going to be called Journey to Olympus, so thank you to Jake Coasters over on Twitter. I love the name, absolutely fantastic. But you can see here the flat ride is fully complete, decorated really nicely, and I've also finished this final splashdown here at the end of the water coaster as well. So I'm really happy with how this area is looking so far. We still need names for the 2 flat rides, if you guys can let me know in the comments for that. But here we are at the entrance to Journey to Olympus, so let's take a ride on this incredible water coaster. So I'll leave you while you enjoy this POV, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video where we build the B&M surf coaster. Bye, guys.